Hello, my name is Whitney Traylor, and my research question is, do nonviolent video games assist with the reduction of depression? I researched 5 expert sources, gathered information from 3 academic publications, and 2 business publications. These sources were either media coordinators, professors, journalists, game designers, and authors. What I found is that even though we agree playing video games can help, my experience is limited to my own personal level of depression as well as my experience with these games. For example, I track my own issues with depression since I am no longer on medication. To help cope with my depression, I play The Sims, Heyday, and Candy Crush. While playing these games, I create Sims and pets on The Sims 4. I build and decorate houses, businesses, and farms. I search for hidden items and focus on earning enough points to advance in the game. The experts have done many trials of people who suffered from depression. These participants played nonviolent video games, and the experts measured the participants' depression and anxiety levels, as well as their moods. These trials were monitored by specialists and college professors. Experts in game design created several video games to help people explore and reduce their depression. The evidence from these sources is not an opinion, it is a proven fact based on the experts' trials and findings. So, do these sources believe that nonviolent video games assist with the reduction of depression? Yes and no. All the sources show a reduction in depression and improvements in participants' moods. When games are played with a purpose, they will help reduce depression. Gameplay has both short-term effects, which last about 30 minutes after gameplay, and long-term effects, which last about 1 month after gameplay. Specialty video games have been created to help people with depression. The CCT and TDCS are new treatments for depression. Some researchers say that playing video games may work better than traditional counseling. However, if video games are used as an escape tool, you can increase your depression symptoms. The first answer is yes. A couple of sources show that video games help reduce depression and improve moods. A study cited in a journal, Casual Video Games Can Reduce Depression, Anxiety, by Carmen Rosanello, says the experimental group experienced an average reduction in depression symptoms of 57%. The study also found significant reduction in anxiety as well as improvements in all aspects of mood. In a similar post from Time titled Study, Playing a Video Game Helps Teens Beat Depression by Mia Zalvitz, said about 44% of those who played Sparks recovered completely from depression, and about 66 in the gaming group showed at least a 30% reduction in symptoms. The next answer is yes. When played with a purpose, video games will reduce depression. Jane McGonigal, a senior researcher at the Institute for Future and author of Super Better, states in the article Teach Your Brain to Fight Depression that when we play video games, 2 regions of the brain are continually hyperstimulated. Those areas are the reward pathways and the hippocampus. The reward pathways are the regions most associated with motivation and goal orientation, and the hippocampus is the region most associated with learning and memory. When we play games, we're immediately and continuously focused on a goal. whether that goal is to solve a problem, find hidden objects, finish a line, or score more points than other players. The goal focuses our attention and creates a sense of motivation and determination. Jane McGonigal also states in the same article that researchers have found that playing with a purpose helps build self-confidence and real-world problem-solving skills, and it has the opposite impact of escapism, which helps people become less depressed, better connected, and more resilient in life. Brandon M. Robbins, a media coordinator at Goldsboro High School in North Carolina, states in the article Depression and Gaming that Phil Owens from a gaming site has written about his battle with depression and how games helped him encourage self realization and therapeutic thinking. The next answer is yes. The effects of gameplay can last 30 minutes to 1 month. In an article titled Casual Video Games Can Reduce Depression Anxiety, Carmen Rosanello stated that games had short-term effects, which lasted 30 minutes after gameplay, and long-term effects that lasted 1 month after gameplay. In another article titled Teach Your Brain to Fight Depression, Jane McGonigal stated that after 30 days of being coached to approach their daily challenges like a game, clinically depressed individuals were significantly less depressed and anxious and experienced better moods and higher self-efficacy. The fourth answer is yes. Specialty video games were created to help people with depression. In the article titled Depression and Gaming, Brandon M. Robbins, a media coordinator and member of the 2011 class of ALA Emerging Leaders, states that the most recent video game released is a text-based game called Depression Quest. The next game that tackles depression head-on is called The Cat Lady. And finally, the game called Spec Ops: The Line is another valid contender for games featuring depression. The next answer is yes. The CCT and TDCS are both new treatments for depression. In the article titled To Treat Depression, a New Approach Tries Training the Brain, Computer Games, Chirping Birds, and Electrical Stimulation in Studies to Change How Depressed People Think by Andrea Peterson, a psychology, health, and neuroscience journalist for the Wall Street Journal, stated that in a 2014 study, those receiving CCT sessions saw depression scores drop more than those receiving a controlled exercise. From the same article, Adrian Peterson stated that a different 2014 study showed that those who underwent the combination of CCT and TDCS had a 46.55% reduction in depression symptoms. However, the people who only underwent the CCT had a 17.2% reduction in depression. The sixth answer is yes. Some researchers say that playing video games may work better than traditional counseling. Mia Salvitz, a neuroscience journalist for Time and author of Help at Any Cost: How the Troubled Teen Industry Cons Parents and Hurts Teens, stated in the article titled Study Playing a Video Game Helps Teens Beat Depression that specially designed fantasy games like Sparks helped teens conquer depression as well as, if not better than,
usual counseling. From the same article, Mia also stated that the current research suggests that on-screen treatment could bring relief to many teens without the risk of stigma of antidepressant drugs or weekly therapy visits. Another answer is no. When video games are used as an escape tool, it can increase depression symptoms. In the article titled "Depression and Gaming", Brandon M. Robbins stated that Phil Owens has written about his battles with depression and how games had intertwined with them, ultimately worsening his depression by giving him a place to withdraw. In a different article titled "Teach Your Brain to Fight Depression", Jane McGonigal states that if you play games with an escape mindset, for instance by ignoring your problems, blocking unpleasant emotions, or avoiding confrontation or stressful situations, you're more likely to suffer some of the negative effects of depression. So, is my personal experience typical? Yes, but not always. What I have learned was that yes, the experts validated my opinion that playing video games can help reduce depression. Firstly, experts agree that playing video games reduce depression. Playing video games can immediately reduce your depression and help focus your mind on completing tasks. When something comes up and you trigger your depression, you will now have the coping tools to help keep the depression symptoms away. Secondly, although I personally see results, does not mean that it is the answer to everyone's problem. Video games should be used as a tool, not something to escape to. Thank you.